Welcome to today's workout. We are going to be doing some weights. So I have a couple of 10-pound weights and a couple of 5-pound weights. I also have a selection of resistance band loops. So I have kind of from medium to heavy, just going to kind of see what I want. And some of the exercises we're going to need a little bit tougher, and some exercises we might want a little bit bigger range of motion, so a lighter band. If you don't have bands, of course, that's okay. So we'll get started just with a little warm up, starting with our feet hip distance apart, and we'll start with our squats. So as always, you can just start with little baby squats. Start breathing in through the nose. Well, keep breathing. Start breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Think of filling up your rib cage from front to back, all around, each time you inhale. And exhaling through our pursed lips. Let's make our squats bigger. Start getting more of our joints warmed up. I'm doing some arm circles here, getting our shoulder blades, our shoulders moving, and all of our upper body muscles as well. As always with our squats, we want to think of our neck nice and long as an extension of our spine. So try not to have any creases in your neck. One more here. Nice. Okay, we'll do just a little bit of tapping and reaching. So starting in the center, we're going to do a little squat. Right arm reaches up overhead as right leg taps out, getting that stretch. Squatting down, left side, tap and reach. So again, just waking up the muscles, getting limber, getting that heart rate going as well. You can go a little bit faster than me if you want, or slower. I just have a hard time going faster and also talking clearly. And one more on each side. Nice. Okay. So our first move, I'm going to use kind of my lightest band. And I'm going to put it up around above my knees. As always, you never want your band like right at a joint. You don't want it right at your knees. Not a good idea. And I'm going to go right into it with my 10-pound dumbbells. So standing in the center of your mat, arms just by your side. Take a big step out to one side. Now we're going to sit back in that. So for me, I'm stepping with my left foot. I'm sitting back kind of into my left leg as if I had a chair behind my left bum cheek for a lateral lunge. We're going to do a hammer curl as we step back to center, reach our arms up overhead. So coming back down, arms come down by our side. Now taking our right leg, taking a big step out to our right side, and I'm sitting back into my right leg. It's doing all the work, pressing up, curling my arms up, stepping into center. Press when you're through center. Arms come back down. Left leg steps out. Again, sit back, and that left heel, curling, coming back to center, and reach. You'll notice I'm not doing this actually very fast, because as always, we want to be nice and controlled. Do our movements with intention. Really focus on the muscles that are working. When you think about those muscles, they do turn on more. It does help, rather than just being distracted and going through the motions. And I'm pressing off with that leg that stepped out. So the leg that's stepping out is doing all of the work. The other leg that's in the center is just kind of working like a kickstand so that we don't topple over. Let's do 2 more on each side. Lunge, center. So we have 3 more now. Well, in total, 1 more on each side, but 2 more. Step, lunge, sit back. Last one. Nice. So now we're going to just take it to one side and we're just going to go up and down on this side. So transfer the weight from me. This is my left leg that stepped out. So I'm going to transfer the weight to my left side. I want to think as if I had a stool right behind my left butt cheek here. And I'm trying to sit back down on that stool and then stand up. Sitting back on that left stool and standing. Grab your weights. Again, if you're like me, and drop them. So we're just coming out here. Really drive through that left heel to turn on your butt. We've got 4 and 3, 2. Think of sitting back and down. Last one. Nice. We'll switch to the other side. Readjust your band if it's being dumb like mine is. Stepping out with my right leg now, thinking of that seat behind my right butt cheek. And I'm sitting back into it and pressing up. Back and up. Our core is turned on. Helps as well protect our back from any injury. Got 5 more on this side. Keep your chest sort of upright. So I'm trying not, if I had a logo on my chest, you'd still be able to read it. Last 2. I might have lost count there. Last 1. Okay, we're going to take a little leg break and just do some arms. So same move as we did before. Just standing here. Hammer curl up. Press arms up. Arms come down and back down to your sides. So my palms are always facing each other. And as usual, we want to try not to pause anywhere in the move. Keep those muscles working. Don't give them a break yet until we're closer to fatigue. And when you get to that spot where your form is starting to slip, you think maybe you can do about 2 more good ones, that's when you want to stop. Again, before any injury or bad recruitment patterns. Let's do 3 more. That core is engaged. 2. And last 1. Nice. So I'm going to keep my band on and then just step out a little bit wider for some regular squats. I'm going to hold my weights in my hands. Actually, I might put my weights kind of on my shoulders. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So weights on my shoulders. Toes are tight, slightly turned out. Sitting back like we're sitting in a chair. My knees point in the same direction as my toes. And then standing up. So checking your form. Are your knees pointing in the same direction as your feet? Or they may be caving in, because then you would want to adjust that. If they're caving in, really think of pressing into the band. We've got just 4 more like this because we're going to add on. Oh my gosh, this hair, I have a mirror I can see myself in. And I can see this hair sticking out. It's driving me nuts. 2. Last 1. So now we're going to stay down nice and low. Let's open our knees and then bring them back in. Open and close. Arms can be wherever you like. If they're tired, you can bring them by your sides. You can kind of have them resting on your legs. Keep breathing. Stay down low for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up. Give it a little shake. We're going back down for 10 pulses in the basement. So staying down here for 10, 9, 8. Neck is nice and long. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. I'm going to take the band off because I'm going to switch bands in a second. So now we're going to come down. Keep your weights just kind of handy and have your other smaller weights nearby as well. I'm going to put my heavier band on now. For me, it's my fabric band. I don't get as great of range of motion. Okay, coming on to the mat, we'll start with a little back exercise. So we don't actually need the band for this very second. So you can be lying fully on your side, or you can be propped up on your forearm like I am here. The move that we're going to do for our back is kind of like a fly, or like our reverse hug the tree. So your arm is out kind of perpendicular to your torso here. I have kind of a quarter turn down towards the mat. And what I'm going to do is think of my shoulder blade doing the moving. So I'm going to bring my weight in, and my shoulder blade is coming towards my spine, and then coming back down kind of like I'm hugging. So it's like I'm opening up my hug, my shoulder blade comes to spine, and then hugging. So grab your weight, join me when you're ready, and back down. And I am trying to not rest my weight down on the mat, as tempting as it is. So that quarter turn. We also have our stomach turned on. Again, help stabilize and not just collapse into the mat. Think of those back muscles doing the pulling and also the resisting back down. Feeling it in your shoulders totally. Your shoulder is working as well. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gonna rest that weight down. You can stay, actually I'm gonna come down onto my arm. Coming down to your arms. And now you can rest your head or have your head cradled in your hand like this. We're gonna do a little glute warm up. Well, I mean, they're already warm, but. So my spine is in my neutral position, so I'm not in like a fetal position. My bottom leg is bent. Top leg is going to raise so that my ankle, knee, and hip are all at the same height. And we're going to do our bend and stretch. So stretching out, reaching through my heel, reaching nice and long, bending it in. Stretch and bend. Stretch and bend. Core is also working to keep us from toppling over. And you want to think of your belly button pointing forwards, not starting to creep up to point towards the ceiling or pointing down towards your mat. Just 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Keep that leg out. You can grab, I'm going to grab my 10-pound weight. Ooh. So I said have them close by. So I'm just kind of resting it on my leg here to add some resistance, and we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. We did these recently in one of my videos. So if you didn't like it, then sorry. But I just find adding the weight just helps get better changes in your body. Maybe I've been doing this for so long that I need the weight now. If you don't need the weight and the band is enough for you, you go for it. Okay, so reaching through my heel, trying to keep my heel kind of in line with my bum. So I'm kicking back a little bit. For 4, 3, 2, last 1. Lower down. You can roll over to the other side. I'm gonna turn on over so you keep seeing my front side instead of my back and my butt. Okay, back with the arms. So now we have our back exercise on this side. Again, I'm going to come onto my forearm, but you can go lying down if you want. We're doing that quarter turn. Arm is out, and then we're thinking kind of that fly move or reverse hug, reaching back and forward. So shoulder blade goes in towards my spine and then away from my spine. If you need more of a challenge, arm is as straight as can be without locking your elbow. If you need a little bit more, less weight or a little bit more help, you can bend your elbow and kind of draw your elbow back. Using your breath. Ooh, my left side is so much weaker than my right side. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down, have your weight handy for those leg raises if you used weight on the other side. I'm going to lie down here again. So get set up, find your neutral spine, stack your hips, stack your shoulders. And then we start with our stretch, reach through the heel, bend it in. Stretch and bend. So our, as I said before, foot, knee, and hip are all about the same height. As we get tired, our leg wants to dip down. Using your breath. And make sure you're elongated through the spine and you're not just like compressing and kind of crunching in. If you need to wiggle around, I just kind of did to lengthen. Just 3 more here. And 2. Last 1. Bring it in, grab your weight. Reach your leg out nice and long. Try to keep that foot kind of in line with your bum as best as you can. And we're lowering and lifting. So I'm doing what I always say not to. And I know it's really tempting to look down at your leg, but try to keep that neck long and not bent. This is why it's good to have a mirror in front of you, so you can just look at the mirror and see your form. I have kind of a mirror in front of me, like I said, but for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully lower that weight. Okay, I'm gonna kind of rearrange myself here. I'm gonna keep the band, my heavy band on, and I'm gonna come onto my back. I'm going to have all my weights near me, within reaching distance. Because once I'm down, I don't want it to, come back up and down, up and down. Okay. So we'll give our butt a little bit of a break. I'm going to do some tricep skull crushers. So this is when I'm grabbing my heavier weights, my neutral position, reaching palms or arms up, palms facing each other, bending at the elbows and straightening. Now these are classics. I do them a lot for triceps, but they have been shown that the way that they load the muscle is just like the most efficient way. So if you're going to do a tricep exercise, this is probably your best bet, because the way that the muscle is loaded when it's in, oh my gosh, I can't even think, like the eccentric portion and the concentric portion, the way that you're holding the weight, it's just the best way for your triceps versus doing like dips, say, or tricep push-ups. Obviously all those are effective, just, mindful of time always. That's why I just put these in. And generally speaking, pretty much everybody can do these. Whereas dips and things, if you don't have great shoulders or wrists, really not great. Okay, 2 more here. Enough of my chatting. Maybe I've distracted you a bit through the work. There we go, finishing up. I'm gonna take one of my 10-pound weights, put it on my hips, bring my feet about as wide as I can with the band on, so I have that resistance, and my feet are about a hand's distance from my bum. Getting ready for our bridging. Prepare with an inhale. As you exhale, lift your hips up, and then inhale, lowering down. Exhaling up, inhaling down. Think of reaching knees over your toes and far away from your shoulders. As we lift up, our tummy is drawing in, engaging those core muscles. For 4, 3, check in with your shoulders and jaw. Are they relaxed? 2. Last one, we're going to stay at the top here. And you know we're going to flare open our knees, bring them back sort of towards center. Out and in, out and in, out and in. Try to keep that height in your hips, but with your neutral spine. So you're not arching your back too much or at all, except for that natural curve. And our ribs are knit down. That's that core control coming in. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down for just a second. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Pause here. Catch your breath if you need to. Take a nice big inhale. On the exhale, lifting up. Holding at the top here. Lowering hips an inch. Lifting an inch. Down and up. Down and up. Drop the weight at any time. Or the band. If you're using the band, keep pressing your knees out. All right, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down. You can sway your knees side to side, hug them in, whatever's feeling good. Going to do some chest work now. So I'm going to hold my 10 pounds. Okay. So I'm going to do an A press. So what that's going to look like, I'll show you like this for right now, is my arms are going to come down and the backs of my arms are going to kind of touch the mat, and I'm making kind of like an A with my arms, and then I'm going to come up and press my palms towards each other. So palms are always going to be facing each other as we do our A press. So bending at the elbows, kind of like this A shape, and then coming up. If your weights are really light and this is too light for you, you can do chest flies. So that's just where you're opening your arms and closing. The straighter your arms are, the harder it would be. I think 10 pounds would just be a little bit heavy for my, and I don't really have that much space here. It'd be a little bit heavy for my flies. That's why I'm doing A presses. Again, just barely tapping my arms down on the mat, trying not to pause at the top or the bottom. And really think of your chest muscles here doing the work. Nice and controlled. For 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to come back down. If you are done and your muscles are cooked, you can pause. I'm going to do little pulses down here. So just in the basement, as we say, barely tapping and going about halfway up. Again, I'm thinking of my chest muscles doing the work here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press all the way up. Carefully come up. I'm going to take this band off and switch back to a lighter one. Okay, coming up now. I'm going to hold my 10 pounds. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so we are going to start with, we'll start with our curtsy lunges. So I'm going to stand this way just to show you. I'm going to put my left foot in the center of the mat, take a step back with my right foot. So now my right foot's kind of going towards the left side of my mat. All 10 toes are pointed forwards, lunging down, coming up, and I'm going to tap my right toes back forwards. So toes come back, all 10 toes forwards, lunging down, tapping forwards. And I'm just holding the weights for right now. You can pick a spot on the floor and stare at it for your balance. And really think like 80% of your weight is in your left leg. So that front leg is holding the majority of your weight. The other leg's just working as like a kickstand so that you don't fall down. Okay, we have 3 more for 3, 2. On this last one, I'm going to stay back. I'm going to do pulses down. So just kind of in this kind of basement, mid-range area, pulsing up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stay kind of part way down. We're going to do 10 bicep curls for 9. Try to stay low. 8, 7. Press your full foot into the mat to help you stabilize. With your inner thigh working. I think I'm at 4. 3. Stay down. 2. Last one. Don't give up. And 1. Okay. Shake it out. We have to do the other leg. So now my right foot, whoa, losing my balance as I look around the room. Right foot's going to be centered. Again, just holding my weights at my side. Left foot's going to take a big step back, all 10 toes pointed forwards, curtsying down, coming up, tap my left foot. So now I'm thinking about 80% of my weight is in my right foot. My left is just working as a kickstand, but it's really my right butt cheek, hamstring, inner thigh, quad, all that working. I'm wearing, my favorite leggings are the Lululemon Align leggings, but they're kind of slippery, so my band is really moving all over the place. Okay, we've got 3 more, and then we're staying down for our pulses. 3, 2, last one. We're staying down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're doing something different this time. So stay down. We're going to do our front arm raise. So palms are facing your body, and you want to think like you are pulling up a pair of pants. These are really high-waisted leggings, the Aligns, which is also why I like them. They don't tend to roll down. But you think like you're pulling up your Align leggings all the way up to your chest. For 4, 3. This is not sponsored by Lululemon, but I mean, if they want to, give me free clothes, please. And last one, coming up. I've tried, I bought these same ones, same color from Old Navy. This top's Old Navy, so I do mix and match, but the leggings are just not the same. Okay, I'm going to keep holding my 10 pounds. So we just worked our right leg, so I'm gonna go back to working my left, just to give my right a little bit of break. So I'm gonna keep my left foot down, and we're gonna step, so kind of, okay, let me start this again. We're gonna sit down a little bit. Tap your right foot out to the side, tap it back in. Tap your right foot kind of diagonally behind you, tap it back in. Tap your right foot behind you and in. So we're staying down, and we're just tapping side, diagonally, and back. Side, diagonal, and back. I know it burns. We're gonna do 2 more rounds here, and then we'll give it a break and do some more arms. Last one here. Stay down, try to get as low as you can for this last one. And then coming up, ooh, shake it out. Okay, a little bit more shoulders. So, no, you know, I don't know if I can do these with 10 pounds, so we're not gonna do that one. We're gonna do our pull-ups again. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, palms face you, pull up and down, up and down. These are a good one because, again, pretty much everybody can do them. They work a lot of muscles. They're working your shoulders, your back muscles are helping, biceps are helping, chest muscles a bit. And they're a functional move because you do need to be able to pull things up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And now we have to do our step outs on the other side. So my right foot's gonna stay centered. Sit down as low as you can. Left leg taps out to the side. Left leg taps diagonally behind. Left leg taps, whoops, behind you. Need to move forward a little bit. Stay low. That's the hardest part. Side and diagonally. Again, this is when a mirror is really great because you can see if you are cheating and creeping up. Last one on that side. Sorry, not last one. 2 more rounds on the last one, like of that, you know, rotation. Get low for this last rotation here. Diagonally and behind. Nice. Okay. Putting my 10 pounds down. Do another little chest exercise. I'm grabbing my 5 pounds now. I could probably do more than 5 pounds, but I don't have my intermediate weights with me. So arms are coming up so that my elbows are about shoulder height. Palms are facing each other. We're gonna open to L-shape arms and then close. So think back muscles opening, squeezing shoulder blades towards each other. Use your chest muscles to close. Back to open, chest to close. As I'm doing this, I am keeping a neutral spine. So I am not arching, I'm also not tucking, really trying to keep nice and steady. So today, even though we haven't really done any just plain core exercises, our core has been turned on the whole time. For 3 and 2. Last one. Lower arms down by your side. We're going to come down onto our knees now. And you can fully, I'm gonna sit on my bum because we're gonna be up on our legs in a minute anyways. Okay, so we're gonna do some triceps here. So I'm sitting on my bum. Gonna get a neutral spine. My neck is gonna be nice and long, so I'm looking on the floor in front of me, like maybe 3 feet on the floor, maybe only 2 feet. I'm not good with measurements. Arms come up and our kickbacks and in. Kick back and in. So the only thing that's changing is at my elbow. It is bending and straightening. If you don't like this, you can do overhead extensions. Some people find that a lot easier on their shoulders or neck. If this is hurting your low back too, well, it means we need to work on core strength, but it could be because you're putting your neck forward too much or you're tucking or arching. Just 2 more. Last one. Okay. Now, I'm gonna hold my 10-pound weights for this one. I'm gonna keep the band on just cause. So we're gonna do our thigh stretch move. So my knees are about hip distance apart. My feet are flat on the floor. You can tuck your toes if you want. And also, if you don't like having your ankles just here on the mat, you could roll up like a towel or something, like pause the video, get a towel, roll it under, but see how this feels. I'm gonna hold my weights kind of like this, sitting up nice and tall, neutral spine. I'm gonna start to lean back, keeping my neutral spine and my hips open, and then pressing forwards, really thinking of using my quads, so the front of my legs, as I press forward. You can also just hold the weights in your hands. I find resting them on my quads really activates my quads a little bit more. If this is too much for you, don't go back as far, just do a little bit, drop the weights, or you can do a little hip hinge, kind of coming back and pressing forward. A little hip hinge and pressing forward. So take your options, using your breath, and that core is tight. So if I came by and punched you, your core is really tight. We don't have too many of these. We're just going to do 4 more for 4. Oh. And 3, 2. Last one. Dropping our weights down. Okay, we are going to finish, actually we'll finish standing today. I'm going to cut out an exercise. I like finishing standing. Okay, I'm holding my 10-pound weights. I'm going to hold them in my hands, kind of together. We're going to do our duck walks or waddles, whatever you want to call them. So I'm at the bottom of my mat. I'm going to sit down and walk 1 foot forward, then the other one comes. Walking forward, and the other one. Staying down nice and low. When you get to the top of your mat, walking backwards. I think I'm gonna do a challenge for the last one. So we're gonna walk back. You got it. Okay, I read this once. You can take a little breather. J-Lo apparently does this with like, I don't remember, I think it's a really heavy weight overhead, like 50 pounds or something. But this is when she was really, really jacked and dating A-Rod. Put your arms up, come down, and now do your walk. Maybe it wasn't 50 pounds, but I know she would hold like a medicine ball and walk and do these. And we all want J-Lo's booty. Whew. Okay, 1 more. Try to stay down and low. You can hear me breathing. And coming up. Good work, everybody. Okay, dropping the weight. I'm going to take the band off for our little stretch. If you want to hold on to something, you can. I'm going to grab my foot in my same hand. Find a spot on the floor to stare at. We're going to do a little quad stretch. So you can point this knee down towards the ground, opening up your hip. So holding here for a second. And we'll switch to the other side. Same idea. It's actually so nice here today. I'm sweating. Cross one arm over. It's been so cold here that, like, you know, when you're really cold and you start working out, today's actually warm, so I'm warm. And then the other arm, as always, relax this shoulder down. Don't like pull it down, just have it hanging out in its normal position, but you just don't want it like up at your chin, you know? And we'll do a little, actually we'll do a couple forward folds. So let's reach up nice and tall, and then we're gonna dive down like we're holding a big beach ball, and we're diving down, knees can be bent. Hang out down here for a second, just stretching the back side of your legs. You can stretch your back as well, let your head hang. And then we're gonna curl up nice and controlled, bone by bone, with your shoulders, neck, and head last. Just 2 more times, reach nice and tall. You can do a little back bend if you want. And then diving down Hang out down here for a beat, and then start tucking your tailbone, tucking your belly, curling up. Last one here. You can grab opposite elbows. You can sway side to side or pedal your feet, whatever feels good. We'll hang out down here for a little bit longer. And then slowly coming up bone by bone, nice and controlled. We'll do a couple of those arm leg reaches like we started. So side bending here, reaching over, stretch that body. Other side, reach and stretch. Reach and stretch. One more on each side. As always, thank you for working out with me, motivating me. If you had any questions about the weights or the moves, let me know in the comments. Please like this video or subscribe so that I know that you enjoy it. You can send me a message here or not Facebook, Instagram, follow me on TikTok, all those places, and I hope to see you next time.